classic examples of forgetting to turn the pot off. It's things that were normal that no longer are and are difficult, and you say something's not firing properly.
Well, kia ora Whaea Pare. It's amazing to have you in my kitchen today. Thank you for being here. We brought you in to talk about Kaumatua well-being and mental health. But before we get into that, can I just share with you a little bit about where you've arrived today? And so you've come in at the third phase of our rewana bread making today. We met with Matua Brian, and he and I sort of talked him through waking up our rewana bug. The rewana bug's been in my family for about, as far as I know, 3 generations.
Awesome.
And so it's sort of something that we've kind of carried on. And so we thought we'd combine making some rewana with our conversations in our kōrero today. So is that okay?
It's lovely.
Have you had rewana in your whānau growing up, or what was
Yeah, but we never made it bug. We use compressed yeast and then dried yeast.
Oh, yeah.
But we got the flavour with potato.
But you still added the potato with it? Yeah, nice. Oh, well, nice. Yeah, so look, you've arrived at the part where we're just going to shape the bread. So we've Whaea just before you, who came in, who I caught up with, and we sort of tucked all the ingredients together, and then we had to allow the bread to rise, the bread to rise. So we're just going to have a look and see, hopefully it's risen. We'll take it, we'll sort of shape it a little bit, then we're going to chuck it in our tins. After we put it in our tins, we'll chuck it in the oven, and then we'll have a bit of a catch-up, eh?
Cool.
So you all right to help me?
Yep, sure.
All right, then. Cool. So, yeah, we've got 2 here. We might have more. Well, I think we might have more than enough, maybe.
More than enough.
Well, yeah, look, it rose pretty well, eh? And so, cool. So, yeah, that's been rising over the day for the last maybe 2 or 3 hours, really. And so what I'll do, did you want to have a titsu here?
Yeah, well, you start first.
All right, then. Just going to chuck some flour down.
Yeah.
And you might have to put some flour in your hands just to...
Oh, yeah. Pass the bread.
Yeah, pass the bread.
Up on.
Yeah, chuck some down.
I haven't done this for years, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, make sure you got some flour in your hands. It's a little bit sticky still. I might grab some too.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me just cut it in 2 and then.
Sure.
Here, you do that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, Chair, you got the gist of it, yeah. And so you've made it with a little bit of...
compressed yeast back in the 70s.
What is that? What's compressed yeast?
Oh, it's kind of like what tofu looks like now, but firmer.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the only way that that's like how the bakers made bread in the bakeries.
Compact.
But it seemed to go out of the shops in the 80s because I ended up having to learn how to make, what do you call that stuff? The shake it things.
What's dried
yeast? Dried yeast, like that looks like...
Oh, yep.
Like sesame or something. That's a bit putuiho, look.
Is it a bit small?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to chuck them together?
Oh, maybe half. We'll see.
I'll use this one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this might be a bit little too.
Gee.
To be honest, you don't have to be too fussy, I don't reckon.
Rightio then. You know according to this kwikwi that used to sell bread for $10 a loaf and she was in her 90s, it's all in the kneading.
What does that mean?
The quality of your kneading is the quality of your texture.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like love or something. It's all in the...
Sure it is. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, just fold it over, I reckon.
Let's just make it try and look good.
Yeah. Make it like a little bit of sausage or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to...
Do that.
Yeah, these tins are a little bit flash, but back in the day, Mum just used to use the old Watties tins, eh? You know that?
Oh, yeah. The A4s.
The A4 Watties tins with the fruit in.
I'm just amazed you're not using butter.
Yeah. Probably. My mother would say the same thing, but because I'm lazy.
It's nice. Okay, I'll grab this one.
Yeah, just chuck it in.
I don't like that, but never mind.
That's all right.
Say that's your one.
It's pretty forgiving, this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, choice.
Yeah, choice. Yeah. Make a little one in there. Choice. I'll chuck these in the oven, eh?
Okay, cool.
And then we'll come and check on them and wait for them to rise. And then we'll cook them.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
You got it on?
Yep. Oh, well. While we're waiting for that to rise, we'll clean up a bit and we'll have a catch up on the couch, eh?
Okay.
Too much. So awesome, Whaea Pare. Good to sit with you. Just while our Māori breed's rising, once it's risen, we'll give it a cook. And so in the meantime, we'll have a bit of a catch up.
Sure.
Yeah, so choices. So yeah, we're sort of back to, we are talking about Kaumatua well-being and mental health. And so from your perspective, like, what are you seeing in your role with regards to our Kaumatua and some of the challenges that they're facing in terms of their own mental health?
Sometimes loneliness and social isolation can contribute to feelings of no one loves me, everybody hates me, which then, of course, can spiral down to depression. So we're very keen at Rauawaawa to try and engage Kaumatua in coming to do things that matter to them. We're fortunate to be led by a board of Kaumatua. The oldest is 91, our co-chair, and the next one's 90, the other co-chair. And they are really clear about what they want for the content of our programs, but so are the Kaumatua themselves. And so we try and listen to them as much as we can. We try and deliver what they want, and that's our way of trying to enhance their well-being. Of course, our vision is hei manaaki I ngā Kaumatua, make them feel safe and warm.
Beautiful. Mm. Tell us a little bit about the Rauawaawa services. What do they provide?
So we're a Kaumatua service provider, been around for 29 years. We do health programs, chronic diseases, nursing service. We do matiwareware, cognitive stimulation therapy class twice a week. We do community classes, te reo, raranga. Hula just started yesterday or today.
Hula.
Yeah. We're fortunate to have a Hawaiian on site. We do social programs, Monday, Friday. And most of them are all based on the feedback we get from surveys, besides our own aspirations.
Nice. So is it sort of a Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday, something's on all the time. We provide wraparound services for housing that T-Rock provides, Te Runanga o Kirikiriroa. Okay. We're heavily involved in research because that's where we're going to grow. That's where we can elevate Kaumatua voices, elevate their needs, and try and say to policymakers, this is what we want, whakarongo. So just this year we innovated making submissions to Parliament thanks to that Treaty of Waitangi Principles Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And since then, we're up to submission 6 or 7.
So they sort of took an active role?
Yes, we didn't want to miss out. First time ever. And the ripple effect was a feeling of empowerment, a feeling of saying, hey, I've got something to say, hear me roar kind of thing.
Beautiful.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And so quite a number of services. Sounds like it's just a full-on wraparound.
Well, we're unique in that, yes, we are. We try to be. Hei korowai tauawhi for Kaumatua. We're unique in that we're Kaumatua-led and we're only Kaumatua-focused. But we're happy to learn that across the mutu, there are organisations, community, iwi, hapu, that provide Kaumatua services, social programs, health programs. And I've been fortunate to attend quite a few of them with my research roles. It's really neat, and we're networking and we're collaborating with same goals.
Nice. Nice. And how do whānau or Kaumatua get access to?
Self-referral, any referral. You need to be 55. You can live anywhere, but we only provide transport if you're in Hamilton. Would be nice if you didn't have a criminal record, but
you're open.
It's about Kaumatua safety.
Yeah.
Some do come, but yeah, just it's open to all cultures.
Nice.
Just need to be 55. So I now qualify.
Beautiful. And how long have you been there for?
I've been there since 2011. Been a PA twice, a receptionist twice, community researcher, senior researcher, healthy families innovator, and across all those years I serviced the Kaumatua committee that produces the social program every Friday.
Wow.
So I'm very committed. My parents went there, and because of the impact that had in their lives, I wanted to give back, and I wanted to treat these Kaumatua the same way I treated my parents. And it's working.
Were you there as a staff?
Yeah.
When your parents were there?
When my parents went actively, I was still in my previous job, but that job closed, so then I became a caregiver. And while caregiving, I was shoulder tapped to be the PA and been there ever since.
Beautiful. Like you mentioned a lot of things there. I wonder if I could hone in. You mentioned mate wareware.
Yes.
Over the last, 14 years that you've been there then?
Yes.
How prevalent is mate wareware from your point of view?
Okay, my first couple of years, 1, maybe 2. Now, I'd say I can identify 25 who've had it, and about 10 currently, or even more, have mate wareware. They're from early stage to third stage. There's 3 stages that people identify.
Okay.
And you focus differently on each stage to try and help a Kaumatua or anyone with mate wareware.
Yeah, would you mind walking us through those 3 stages?
Sure.
So that how would whānau go about sort of identifying or seeing the early warning signs of mate wareware?
Classic examples are forgetting to turn the pot off. So it's when someone is making functional mistakes. They could be struggling with familiar tasks, with familiar settings. They could find problem solving difficult that they never used to. They could be stuck giving a whai kōrero or a mihi, or they can't remember the waiata or the kōrero tuku iho. It's things that were normal that no longer are and are difficult, and you say something's not firing properly. Those are early signs. Dementia affects not only our processing and thinking, but also our behaviours. So mate wareware is the illness of forgetting, and it's not normal. It's not aging normally at all. It's not hereditary most part. It's neurocognitive damage that happens because sometimes of our lifestyle choices. Yeah, so anyway, those are the early signs. It's just really different. And in that stage, the focus should be on improvement. What they've got now, value what they've got, value what they've been, and connect them to their culture. Cause, kei a tātou te tikanga ki te whakaora i a tātou. The way we roll is the rongoa and the glue that keeps us strong and connected and helps them feel safe. But we need to understand a few things about mate wareware. For instance, picture memory as a box or the sun, and you've got the hihi, the rays of the sun going out. For a person who's got cognitive decline, that ray has got a gap missing. When something happens in the day, the incident on the way to the memory doesn't make it because there's a gap. So then you're going to talk to them about, hey, did you see so-and-so? Well, they don't know because it fell out and didn't make it to the memory. Imagine if all those rays around that box of sunlight memory have got gaps in. It's not making it. But we don't understand that, and so we're saying they're frustrated, they don't want anything. Yes, they do, but they need help to communicate. They need patience around them to acknowledge, oh, they won't know, so I'm going to give them a picture instead. I'm going to say, do you remember so-and-so? What's up to me, and build up what they can remember or give them context. If we give Kaumatua or anyone context, you're helping them make sense of it instead of making them feel shrink and embarrassed because they don't know what the hell you're saying or what you're doing. They're misreading it, they don't understand it, simply because of what's happening in their brain. Yeah, no, fascinating.
Yeah. So as an example, so an uncle of mine was, sort of forgot his way home, so he was driving along there and then kind of forgot where he lived.
Yeah, it happens. It's common. It's common, and they wander. They're going back to what their routines of, say, when they were in their teens to when they're in their 40s. Those are good memories that they can go back to. So they're going back to work, or they're doing whatever those routines are.
Are you sort of saying that in terms of your analogy about that gap between and the raise, is that something that we could do to sort of help?
Yeah.
Sort of make sense of the gap that's there?
Absolutely. There's a series of videos on YouTube. If someone wanted to look up dementia and communication or something like that, then there are, say, a series of videos that helps you understand what's going on. Gives you clues on how to act and how to support in a really positive, mana-enhancing way. But Māori, we've got our own tikanga that we can draw on, our collaboration as a whānau, because it's a spiritual journey for us. And when my father had Pākis, he returned to being a baba. I just loved it. He lost his talking, he lost his moving, but he absolutely had his purity. And it was so lovely for me to still have that of him. And I think for a number of people, they remember what their nanny did or their koro, and that's what they embrace, and that's why they care for them, because of their love. Beautiful.
So Dad had Parkinson's?
Yes.
That's slightly different. In what way is
Parkinson's is one of the diseases that presents as dementia, and his version was that he seized up. Not only did his body seize up, but so did his brain. So his capacity to think things through, well, I thought was gone until I was told off for kissing him too much. Yeah, get off me. It was cute. So there are like 8 diseases that relate to dementia. 2 or 3 of them you cannot get out of. Alzheimer's is one of them. You'll never try and reduce the symptoms and signs of Alzheimer's, but other ones you can actually reduce by making good lifestyle choices.
Okay.
And that's what I'd say to all Māori. Please, 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 from the time you're in your 30s, choose a healthy lifestyle. It takes 20 years for rubbish lifestyle to manifest as neurocognitive decline. And our Māori have 17% early onset dementia. That means you're younger than 65. New Zealand European have 8%. Māori are this high for dementia in the population compared to every other population. Why? It's because of the health inequities, mai rāno. It's because of our social economic determinants. And it's because we kuare. That healthy living and healthy choices make such a significant difference. I mean, I'm only learning it now. I'm gobsmacked at what I wish I'd done and wish I'd known. But for the rest of my life, I'm planning to do the 5 po of healthy aging, which all prevent mate wareware.
Tell us.
The 5 po, eh?
5 po.
Okay, so the first one is, well, this is my order. Feed your brain. Feed your brain means eat like the Mediterraneans. It's lots of greens and it's lots of vegetables and grains and whatever. The reason for this is those foods feed the brain literally. They don't damage it. They've got the minerals that you need to make all the processes function. Not only that, but Mediterraneans savour their food. They take forever to eat it and they don't overeat. I eat fast. I eat a lot. I eat wrong. It's so damaging. So feed your brain. The next pillar is...
So by savouring, you mean like...
Take your stinking time and don't eat a lot. That's so hard when it's yummy.
Eat like the French do when they...
Yeah, that stuff. My Chinese doctor told me to take a minute to chew my food.
Oh, yeah.
I said, for heaven's sake, woman. Yeah. The second po is to feed your brain, grow your brain? Grow your brain. Grow your brain means try and do 10 minutes a day of heart-raising exercise, preferably 20 actually, I think it is. If you do heart-raising exercise for 20 minutes a day, that effect grows your brain. It literally goes to the hippocampus, which is where your memory is, and it grows your hippocampus, meaning you're able to store your memories. Amazing. The other thing that happens, that I can't remember what part of the body, it goes straight to your frontotemporal cortex and helps you with your thinking and your reasoning and your executive control, just from exercising for 20 minutes a day. That means grow your brain because it gets fluffier. Oh, by the way, from the time we're 30 and we reach biological maturation, everything can decline if we don't fix it with our lifestyle choices.
Well, when's biological maturation?
30 years old.
Oh, that's biological maturation.
Apparently, I'm way past it. So I thought, here I am at just hit 60, deciding I'm having a healthy life for the rest of my life, because it doesn't matter when you make the change, as long as you make it. It will make a difference to helping your mate wareware be not as significant. The third...
So healthy food...
Yeah, just remember, feed the brain with good healthy food, grow the brain with decent physical activity. The next one is to flush the brain. You flush the brain by trying to get as much sleep as you can. What happens is our brain cycles between flushing out the rubbish in our brain, it's called the lymphatic system, and literally these cells only function to try and destroy all the rubbish that's in your brain and flush it out. But it happens in sleep and no other time. So the longer you sleep, the more cycles of sleep you get done, the more your brain flushes out, the better off you are the next day. I really don't know how to make Kaumatua sleep more.
Are you finding from what you're seeing that Kaumatua is struggling to get to sleep?
Oh, it seems to be universal. The older you get, the less sleep you get. And that's not helpful to them. There's a lot of, of course, afternoon napping, or any time of day napping if you're old enough.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so after you flush the brain, the next thing try and do is to love the brain. Love the brain is make sure you have social interaction that's meaningful. Whānau dinners, go to the marae, go to your iwi hapu something, anything, because that sense of belonging releases oxytocin, and that goes to your brain and makes everything work well. DJ, stinking amazing. And the last po is to, let me see, what's the last one? Oh, sharpen your brain. If you don't use your brain, it will die. It shaves off anything it's not using. So our job is to have something that we love and pursue it. So Kaumatua in their tikanga roles, that's great. Kaumatua doing their chess or their hobby or whatever it is, anything that makes you think, jigsaw, sudoku, something. And this woman, some kind of doctor of something, she told me, try and do 15 minutes at least a day to sharpen your brain. All those 5 things, and you're setting yourself up to be healthy, reduce the possibility of onset, and the impact, because the impacts are very negative for Māori. Very negative. And what I mean by that is, if we don't have the education about what we can do, what it means, how to protect ourselves, there's a burden in terms of what it's going to cost us financially, what it's going to cost us emotionally, and what it's going to cost physically. And it's significant if whānau don't prepare, don't talk openly, and figure out, hey, what are we going to do? In a mana-enhancing way. Our wairua, think about their wairua, think about the cultural identity.
Yeah, from what you're seeing, like, how are whānau sort of coping when mati wareware comes up in their whānau?
It's unfortunate that it's so not known about. I bet you every one of us has struggled that's ended up caring for our whānau, and where do we turn? But I'd love to say that the Pākehā have mean as resources. Dementia New Zealand, Dementia Waikato, Alzheimer's New Zealand, Dementia...
What's been your experience with those organisations?
Well, actually, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing from a carer's point of view.
Yeah,
But professionally, I've engaged with all 3 of them since. Because I had a whānau close to me and saw what happened in their whānau, we decided how we were going to behave based on what we learned from them. And we sorted ourselves out quite early and put up rules such as, shut your mouth, I'm doing the caring, just give me money. But it's all about open communication and love and support.
Nice. And so those are some of the protective things that...
Oh, no, that's not protective. That's how to manage. Protective is what I was talking about with those five po.
Those 5 things, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I think for Kaumatua, if you're caring for a Kaumatua and you're facing tougher and tougher decisions because the situation changes, they go from able to not so able to totally not able. Mm-hmm. And therefore the cares change as it progresses, the whānau decisions change, and many whānau have to put their Kaumatua in care because there's nothing else for them to be able to handle it. And so I want thousands more Māori health professionals in Mate Wareware so that our Kaumatua can go to something that registers with them. Kaumatua-friendly dementia villages with tikanga Māori or kaupapa Māori leading it. And then we can feel safer and more secure about what happens to them. And also we're promoting, use the mana tool, that's an assessment for neurological abilities, because it was designed by Māori, developed with Māori, for Māori, and it's culturally friendly.
The mana tool?
Yeah, it focuses on wairua, whānau, and cognitive ability.
Okay.
Fantastic. And the assessment includes the whānau.
And is that something accessed through?
Yeah, and so we can, as whānau, say, I don't want that Pākehā assessment, I want the mana tool, please, because it's culturally friendly. Yeah. I can see me in that. I don't know what someone did in America, but I know who Whina Cooper is. That kind of thing. It just resonates. And the second thing that I'm happy to say is there's a Mate Wareware app, and that can take a lot of the mystery out of it. It's just called Mate Wareware.
Okay.
Yep. And you look at it and you go, oh, yeah, thank you. That's good to know, and all that stuff.
What would we find on the app? Just kind of what you talked about.
Well, typical Māori app starts with karakia.
Sure.
Yep. Starts with a broad outline of what Mate Wareware is, and then digs a bit deeper in teaching and educating. It's really a neat resource, and the research behind it was all Kaumatua and whānau voices anyway. There's a beautiful woman called Makarena Dudley, Kione Koia Te Kuia or Mate Wareware research, and all of it's been with Kaumatua. And so we listen to their voices, and Kaumatua say Mate Wareware is a spiritual journey. Mate Wareware is something dealt with by the whānau. It's beautiful.
So the app could be an additional resource.
Yeah. So in that Mate Wareware app, what they learned also, can we please have Māori who are interested in app development make something for whānau as well? Like give them prompts for medication. Because there's a little difficulty when you've got Mate Wareware managing the Pākehā language and the timetable of the dosages and that kind of thing. But if we Māori invest in things that help whānau and help Kaumatua, it would be really great.
How important is it for whānau to be involved in?
Well, I feel that without whānau being involved in Mate Wareware, it's really not going to help that Kaumatua much at all. I would be very sad if they're not there at any time. But what I've seen in the whānau at Rauawaawa who come with their Kaumatua and Karawa, they do their best for as long as they can. And we respect whānau right to manage it the way that is right for them. Because that's all we can do, awhi tautoko. But without the whānau, I think that would be a really sad and possibly cruel thing to do to a Kaumatua.
Yeah. What would you say would be helpful for whānau, I think we talked earlier about caring for the carers. Oh, yeah, buy jingos. If you had it long enough, there's no way you can still be coping in 5 years in, even 4 years in. And what you think is hard in the first year is nothing compared to the second and third and fourth and fifth if you're still going. So something to understand in caring for anyone with Alzheimer's, with any form of dementia, is it's a long journey. It's at least 7 years old, and your income will go down at least 4 or 5 times. And so the whānau's got to say, what are we going to do to help this happen? So being in there for the long haul.
It is a long haul, and the burnout is real. Like your systems can pack up even because you sometimes don't get respite. because they don't want anyone else, they want you. And by the time they pass and you're there, who knows how long it will take you to recover. It takes a long time.
Yeah, you were talking earlier, I think, about those that do suffer mati wareware are quite committed to one person.
Yes, apparently that's a known thing. But recently I did some research with whānau carers in two ways, once during COVID of people with mati wareware and just now, like last year. And there was a stark example that the wife was utterly, completely at the end of her tether, exhausted because she was and round the clock almost, because he wasn't sleeping, he was doing things in his own time, and that it's real, and it's something that we try to manage. Yeah, every parent's got their favourite, even though they don't love, even though they love us equally, they got their favourite.
Sure. Yeah. And so it needs a bit of for whānau to be involved for the long haul can just really kind of need some thinking.
And that, of course, that's easy to say, but every whānau is different as well. There are almost every whānau I talk to, there's the one that will care, there's the many that won't, or at least one that won't. So plenty of answers is that one, got the money, that one, got the aroha, that one, but no money, everyone's got their own personalities, but they seem to be across the whānau. However, what ties them together, of course, is their whānau, and so a lot of them do make it work, which I'm happy about. Yeah, and we're fortunate that in Te Ao Māori, our Māori service providers have the same ngākau Māori, and so they're there to support as well. There to support the whānau.
What would you like to say to whānau who might be in that situation where they're starting to notice things?
It's going to be easier if you find out what mati wareware is and isn't, what you need to do about it, doing it together, and preferably doing it while your whānau member is still cognizant, so that you can respect their mana by letting their decisions drive what you do. I think that would be idyllic, if possible.
What are you sort of noticing the barriers are to having that conversation? Why aren't we?
Well, I think simply we don't know. It's not in our normal world. Some whānau might say, if anything happens to me, put me in a home. A family member could take that seriously. The rest of the whānau don't want you. It creates raru. And a family member might get burnt out, so the next one comes along, gets burnt out. The last one, two can't get it, that one gets sick. The dynamics are all different, really. And mati wareware presents itself differently as well. It's unique to everyone. There are some commonalities. I just hope that the whānau will work together, will put their aroha, their manaakitanga, their tiakitanga, and the wairuatanga of their Kaumatua first. If they can, that would be ideal. Yeah, but I respect their mana.
You were saying Whaea Pare that there's kind of three phases.
Yep.
Have we covered the three? Or
well, kind of.
What would be phase two?
Phase two is that it's worse than what it was, but it's not the worst. So there's functionality, there's capacity, but it's way more limited. And it really depends whether, like for instance, I studied if the brain hurts here, this is what's going to happen to them. If it happens in another part of the brain, that's what's going to happen to them. And so that kind of information helps you have no surprises, which means you can plan. I prepared a list of this is what could happen in each stage, this is what it means for you, and that's what you can do about it. This is the kind of information whānau, if they educate themselves, they empower themselves.
Sure.
That's what I think.
Yeah, nice.
And also knowing what the support services are. You might end up learning about the incontinence nurse because that's a symptom. Getting incontinence is a system, getting diarrhea is a sign, depending on the type of thing you've got. And also knowing how to help them with that 5 pillars of health I talked about.
So even if someone was kind of deep in their dementia or whatever, their mati wareware, would you still install the 5 pillars?
Absolutely, because it makes a difference. But you won't bring memories back that are already lost.
Okay.
What you're going to do is try and shore them up so that there's not worse.
And so what would phase 3 look like?
Phase 3, they can't move, they can't pretty much do anything. They almost like return to a very, not quite fetal, but certainly baby state. And they're totally dependent. And that's why I want whānau to take this seriously, because someone has got to manage their cares. Where you've got to learn how to transfer, you're cleaning them up, they become dead weights, how does that get managed? And you can do a lot of care at home without it becoming clinical. Or doctors might collude with you and help you keep them at home because they don't want to go to a rest home. So it's that kind of physical work that a whānau member does for their parent in the last stages is very, very real.
What does make it hard for Māori to access these kinds of services for their whānau?
Kei hea te konohi Māori. When any of us go into a place, we want to see a Māori face. If we can't see a Māori face, we want to see an organisation that practices Māori values, even if that's not what they call it. If we don't feel welcome, if we feel that we're beneath someone, why would we go there? And so Māori firstly need to understand what mate wareware is and understand what their rights are. For example, if it's early signs, you go to a GP and they do memory tests, but the GP might not refer them for a specialist appointment. But there's already a 6-month waiting list for specialist appointments. Blink and well refer them, because the longer you take, the more harder it is to manage it. And there are publicly funded supports once you've got a diagnosis. But if your doctor's not helping you get a doctor diagnosis, or if you're not asking for a diagnosis, the more distance there is between you and support that is needed. We're absolutely understaffed in New Zealand with people who can diagnose, with people who can support in mainstream and Māori. So I would really love that to change. It's really, really critical. The population now is 70,000 New Zealanders got dementia. In 20 years' time, it could be another third of that.
Are you seeing any improvement in the workforce? Any improvements over time?
Oh, absolutely. In Rauawaawa itself, I used to be mataku of dementia. Mate ware, no idea. Scary. Don't understand it. But I want to be of help, and so now I'm very open, I'm very willing, and I go to Alzheimer's type conferences and things, and there are more Māori, more Islander present, nice. Chinese, trying to do something for their people.
What about our whānau in rural areas?
Oh yeah, ka aroha. They are limited access to Wi-Fi, to cell phone network, to services, to transport, to formal supports. It's costly and it's expensive. Though they've got distance, they've got roading, the quality of it. They have it hard. I'm very aroha for anyone's rural. On the other hand, they've got the resilience of informal community, be that whānau, marae, the farming community. Historically they stand up for themselves and look after each other. That's still valid, mainstream and Māori. However, that doesn't change the fact that rural whānau or any Kaumatua in rural settings, especially COVID brought it out, suffer because of the lack of resourcing and the lack of pūtea in their pockets. So I'd like to try and see what we can do to be of helpful.
Yeah. Well, if you had sort of a magic wand and could express your dreams in terms of supporting Kaumatua, just to wrap up there, what is it that you would like to see happen?
I would want every kaupapa Māori organisation that provides health services to make sure that they provide mate wareware health services, to make sure that there are Māori professionals doing it, with the ngākau Māori pushing them along. I would want every whānau Māori to realise that they are making mokopuna decisions by making themselves healthy. You be healthy, the next generation be healthy, normalise it. But you know what? It's dear. It costs money to be healthy. And so we've got to do research on, well, what can I eat that's best for me? What can I do that's best for me? But I truly believe with what our kingi tūheitia did with kōtahitanga and what our Rikiniri Ngā Wahunui Te Pō is doing with, in her taking up his legacy, that Māori hopefully are collaborating more, want unity more, and hopefully will make mate wareware a high priority. Because, you know, I really want us to show Kaumatua we love and support them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your expertise and your insights today. It's been fabulous connecting with you, especially in our whakapapa and our rewana bread.
That was great.
Yeah. And giving us some insights into some of the struggles that our Kaumatua experience in terms of, and whānau, in terms of mate wareware, and bringing that to the conversation today. Thanks so much, Whaea Pare. Appreciate you.
Oh, tēnā koe. It's been a pleasure too.
Beautiful.